running out going offshore, and there's something floating over there. And then there's a big old triple tail on it, so we took 30-pound fluorocarbon, and we got a little thread fin that we caught in the cast net, and we're gonna see if we can't get them to eat it.
Want the camera on?
Can't resist it. It's even nice enough to give me my bait back. You didn't realize from the tarpon video I like keeping my bait.
Still there. Oh, there he is. Watch it.
Look at this stuff. Ain't got a net either.
Nice one.
That's a freaking monster.
Yeah. Bigger than I thought he was.
He ain't got a net.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Will he go in that little bait net?
So you get almost every triple tail eat, usually if you got some cut bait. We'll try to surf them right in the boat. Maybe not.
Yeah, there you go.
You don't want to come in the boat.
Nice. Beautiful. Good fish.
Hopefully it's big enough. Triple tail got to be 19 inches, so. Let's see. Swing around. That's probably good. So basically, you just want to throw these your chunk bait. I mean, you see he's angling like right under that thing, so you want to let it sink, and you'll see him follow it down. Once he follows it down, 90% of the time they're gonna eat it. And I just scared him. Another dinosaur. Or this one's an actual dinosaur.
Don't need to measure that one.
So as you can see, they call these things triple tails because it looks like they got the 3 tails. One of the most prehistoric fish. Can't penetrate that. So he's 20, almost 22 inches. Toad. Phew! Killing it.
Go back and see if there's another one.
So on our way out, we were probably gonna go run and do some king fishing. We got a live well full of bunker or Manhattan, whatever you call them. We're running out, seeing that buoy, just provided us with 2 beautiful triple tails. So we're gonna keep punching out and go see what we can find out there.
That's the problem.
We're using a wire rig with a treble hook. Get this thing. Treble hook with a J hook up front, running to about 1 foot of wire with a swivel. Like I said, with these you want to run pretty light drag because these are pretty small hooks that you're using. Kingfish mouth, very soft. So we got one out in the outrigger, one on the flat line over there. So those will pop when the fish hits, and by the time the slack catches up, it'll basically set the hook for you.
Trying to give myself too much ammo.
So make sure your drag's all the way down, clicker's on, grab your line, and snap it right in the clip. So you got this ball on it so it doesn't go all the way through the end of the outrigger out there. So then you just send her out. Once that fish hits, it'll pop that clip, and then like I said before, it'll pretty much set the hook for you. And that's it for the outrigger. So I guess this has turned in more of a triple tail hunting video, because we just ran another like half mile. Whatever that is has a little triple tail on it, and this log right here has one under it, right down there. That ain't a triple tail.
King. Take it. It looked like a zero. But a big one if it is. That's zero. That's a big one.
Mackerel, you can tell by the show you that side, there's no blood. All the dots on it, their fins are blacker all through there. I think it definitely got a different shape than a kingfish does. The head does too. The king's got, well, we'll just go catch you a kingfish and show you the difference. So they all got their distinct lateral line. So when you're hooking these guys, go right through the top of the nose there. And then I always stretch that tight right there, and bring the hook back. Put it in about right there, so that way that's got room and that's not pulling their head back. And flick them in the water. And they freak out like that, and it's gonna be a good bait. You let these, like this one, I'm gonna let it out about, I don't know, 100 yards. And then I'll put another one out on the flat line. Sometimes, like with this motor, the freaking prop is massive on it, so my slow troll speed is very fast. Usually you want about 1.5 miles with these. So if you see them up on the surface, just bump troll them, is what we call it. So you just kick it in gear, kick it out of gear. But this one, we'll be fishing in the outrigger. What are we gonna use now? This guy. So we'll throw a thread fin out there. Basically, hook them the same exact way. Right to the nose. Pull it tight. Let them flop out of your hand. And jam that one up in them. And it came out, but whatever. Once again, running along, see a bottle, and there's a triple tail glued to it. So, baby flounder we caught in the net. Good luck.
Running around all the boat.
So what we decided as was going to be a king day turned into a zero mackerel and triple tail day. Giant triple tail, some nice zero. I think that's a Spanish, but hey, starting out to be a good day. Oh, crap iced. Right before we run in, we'll open these, let them get super cold, and be good to go. But it's supposed to be pretty rough out today. Not too bad, but not too calm. Turned out to be super nice. It's freaking gorgeous, and the fish are biting. Alright, we're back at the house. About to whip up some fish. Got a freaking front coming in. So that's probably why the fishing was pretty decent today. I mean, we saw probably close to 200 or more triple tail. I mean, a lot of them are tiny, but hey, still cool to see them, play with them, catch them. But we got a couple, that's the Spanish, and these two are zero mackerel. We don't get a whole lot of those up here in Sebastian, but it's a very nice surprise when it does come. So I'm gonna whip these up real quick before the rain hits us. These triple tail are freaking pretty awesome. They're like a prehistoric fish almost, and they're just crazy. These scales are like ridiculous hard to penetrate, and they put up a pretty good fight. I mean, as you can see, they call them a triple tail because of their looks like 3 tails down there, and these gill plates, boy, and things right there are serrated. They will fillet your hand open in a heartbeat. But I always cut this part right here, get my knife on the inside, and then I come from the inside out. It seems to help keep the knife sharper a bit longer. I don't really go in very far, just enough to cut through the skin, basically outline it, and then I'll come back through and cut to the backbone and go over it. I haven't cleaned a whole lot of triple tail, but this is definitely the biggest one that I've caught right there. Seeing like that, it just basically clogs up the knife pretty good. Boy, I hear that wind kicking up. I hope I can get this done before get poured on. If the wife may not like it, if not, because I'll be cleaning these inside. But these are some awesome fish. So we're cast netting bait in the channel today, just a little bit north of or south of Grant Ramp, and we got a bunch of them big pogies, and we got probably about a dozen of the thread fins there, and that's what we were using to catch these guys. I just basically cut their head off, filleted them in half, and I just used half of a chunk of thread fin. They were gulping it up. I know these things really love shrimp and they really love squid, so basically any part of the ocean that you're in around here anyway, if you find something floating, you need to be checking for these guys under it, because everything we saw today had 20 of them on there. The bigger triple tail though, like the couple of big ones that we caught, there's only 1 or 2 on a item, so I think they kind of claim it as theirs, but we were catching them on like 20-ounce soda bottles. And it was pretty freaking nuts. Right over the reel. Well, bam. So I like to cut across here on these fish and work my knife from the inside out. Their scales are pretty gnarly. They'll dull your knife pretty quick, so I always go from the inside out, knife barely in there, just enough to outline it, and then I'll come through and once I get a good outline on it, bring the knife all the way to the backbone so I can make sure I get as much meat as possible. You see them scales sticking to everything there. But good sharp knife is key. And I angle it down so it runs right along their bones. And you don't leave any meat down there. But a lot of people around the Sebastian area, I know if they're fishing offshore, they go get a dozen live shrimp every time they go out, and they're dolphin fishing or whatever. You're going to be fishing structure. So wherever you find structure, there's a very good possibility you're going to find a triple tail on it. One of their favorite things I know that they eat is shrimp and squid. So like today I was just taking so we caught some pogies that we were slow trolling for. We were hoping to catch a kingfish, but we ended up with ceros in Spanish. But we also caught some thread fins, like little 4 or 5 inch thread fins, and I was cutting the head off them, then basically filleting them and using a whole fillet and pitching it right out in front of them. You don't want to throw it on top of them. Most of the time you'll spook them away. They usually do come back, so you don't have to worry too much about it, but I like to keep the boat a bit away from them and like kind of cast away from them. Bring the bait or lure, whatever you're using. We did catch a couple today on a little bucktail, and you just bring that right to them, and you'll see that whatever you threw at them start to sink, and they'll go right down with it, and then it's game on. They're usually not too shy. If they follow it down, most likely they're going to eat it, unless they're leader shy or something like that. But usually if they're going down for it, they're going to get it. Ooh, boy, these some slickery fish. Nice thing about them though is you can angle your knife down pretty hard on their skin, and it won't go through it just because their skin is so gnarly. Get you a nice good piece to grip on, maybe. Get you a beautiful fillet. Almost looks like a giant flounder fillet. Another trick you can do, pop a hole right your dough. If everything's too slickery for you, get your start. And I just cut right through it. That's freaking awesome. Beautiful. My pile. So I did bring home a bucket of salt water. I'll throw them in there, rinse it off. Yum. And then I'm gonna hose this off. So these Spanish and Ciros are probably some of the easiest to clean. You can literally just rip them down if you want. I always try to cut my finger off. But, I mean, their skin is so soft. Especially if you got a sharp knife. But I always cut to the backbone on them. If you just stick your knife in here and rip it down, it does a pretty good job, but you still miss a decent amount of meat on it. So, like I said, I always just try to slice down to the backbone, get as much as possible. Most of these fish aren't real big, so the more meat you can get, the better. But this is gonna make a excellent stone crab trap bait. Any of the mackerel family is a very oily fish. So it really sends a nice smell out there for all the crabs. Basically a calling card for them. Like, hey, there's some good stuff in here. Come eat it. And then bam, got them. Floop, just like that. Floop. I love cleaning these things, how soft they are, just slides right through. Chuck these guys down in there. Next. Like I say, usually we don't see a whole lot of these Ceros up here. I know they get a lot of them down Miami, Fort Lauderdale. There's a bunch in the Keys, but up here when we get them, it's a nice little surprise. Very good to eat. It's really easy with these fish too to cut through the other side of the bones. Be filleting on one side, and the next thing you know, you're on the other side. And just like that. Beautiful, beautiful. That's not good. This is one of the biggest Ceros I've ever seen. I'm sure they get them this big in the Keys though, or down in the Tortugas all the time. Flip. Flip. Or if you want to do it right, you go. Hang on. Wait for it. Wait for it. Done. Yuck. My pile. Trim the crap. The crap. So today we went out to try to catch some kingfish, and that didn't happen, but our bycatch, this beautiful triple tail that we actually got 4 or 5 triple tail. A couple of them are undersized, but it turned out to be an awesome day. Didn't know if it was going to be windy or what or rougher out there, but it ended up being dead flat. There wasn't a whole lot of people out there, which was super nice. Every single piece of structure that we went by held triple tail on it. I mean, that first one we came up to, I don't know if that was like a weather buoy or some sort of weird buoy, had solar panels on it. It was pretty interesting, but we pulled up to it and there was one triple tail on it. We caught him, and then once I was unhooking him and we looked back over there and that big one's on there. I think it was 25 inches, 24, 25 inches, and flicked another piece of that thread fin to him and he inhaled it and got him in the boat. But we ran probably, I don't know, where were you going, like maybe 200 yards, and then we'd see something else that would have triple tail on it. So we'd stop. And we'd keep running again, see something else that had something, so we'd stop. But most of them were real small. I mean, maybe 10, 12-inch fish, which they're still fun to catch. We didn't really mess a whole lot with them, but we tried to run out and go king fishing. That's when we ended up catching them ceros, but all in between we were catching them triple tails. So, like I said, we don't really get a whole lot of those up here, but they are some fine eating. As you can see, that meat is freaking delicious looking. So we're gonna season it up today. I'm just gonna use some Everglades fish and chicken, garlic powder, paprika, and some parsley flakes, and then we're gonna cook it in a pot with some butter. So I like to season my fish over the sink, so there's not much of a mess to clean up and you can just rinse it right out. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of the fish and chicken on now. This stuff is delicious. Used to use the regular Everglades and it's pretty salty, which is fine, but that fish and chicken's definitely a little bit better. And then we love garlic, so we gotta add our garlic in there. And some paprika. Give it a nice cool red tint when you cook it. And then I kind of pat it in so it stays in there a little bit. Flip it over. And then reapply. And I only put parsley flakes on one side to begin with, because when I flip it in the pot, it'll then I'll put it on the other side and let them kind of like cook into it. So we got the butter melting in the pan, and over here we're doing some pasta. It's gonna be angel hair with herbs. So melting some milk and butter and water, or bringing it to a boil. Then I'll add the pasta and the special seasoning as it says in the package. So I don't know why, but me and my wife both kind of thought that looked good, so figured we'd try it. And neither one of us really feel like making an intricate dinner tonight, so we're just gonna make something nice and easy and chill out on the couch, because usually we don't eat before 10 o'clock. And it's only 7:54. That is the only good thing about this time change, but I still hate it because it's early. And then taste tester 1 is, or no, that's taste tester 2 is really wanting a bite of that, huh? So once our butter melts, we got that on about a medium heat. And I will throw the fish in now and let it cook for probably about 5 minutes on each side, and it should be good to go. So we'll see you when the butter's ready. So the butter is nice and jiggly. You hear it crackling a little bit. You don't want it too hot so it doesn't burn the butter. And you just lay your fish rod in. Good like. We got other stuff over here. Back on medium. Chilling. Oh, that looks delicious. I don't know why, but that smells exactly like lobster. And oh, it smells good. I'm pretty excited. So it's been about 5 minutes. And we will do the little flipperooskies. Oh, that looks so good. Cheap stuff's almost done. Just needs to chill. That stuff. That's like one of my favorite smells is lobster, so I'm pretty excited that it smells just like that. But that's why I love going offshore. Never know what you're gonna catch. Like I said, we were going out to catch some kingfish today. Didn't happen, but our consolation prizes were way better, I think. So anytime you can go out and catch some triple tail, it's pretty fun. Usually in the wintertime up here around Port Canaveral and Sebastian, you can hit crab traps, buoys, stuff like that, channel markers, and find the triple tail hanging around. Like I said, you just get up current of them and flick your bait right to them, let it float back to them, try not to throw it right on top of them, and most of the time they'll go over and munch it. They're pretty hungry fish, but like I said, just don't crowd them and they'll hang out and chill with you. So this will be done here in just a minute, and we'll see what the taste testers think. Can't wait. I forgot to put the parsley flakes on it. Can't believe I forgot that, but usually I just put a little bit on there. The steam kind of cooks it up a bit, and it's good. So, but I forgot. So let's see what taste tester 1 thinks. Taste tester 2. Devoured. You can eat on camera, it's okay. It's good. They like it. They approve it. I've tried it. It's really good. So, well, I guess that's it for this one. Definitely was great to get back offshore. It's been a while, even though that really wasn't a offshore trip-ish. We left the house at like 8:30, got back at like 3:30, 4. This is kind of a last minute, oh, the weather's gonna be all right, let's go. So we went out there, made the most of it. Had a headache all day, which wasn't fun, but whatever, it is what it is. At least we got to get out there and get some fresh air. So hopefully soon we'll actually be able to go out and do some hardcore offshore fishing. That is my jam. So until next time, we'll see y'all later. Hey.